While most murders are committed using traditional weapons, like guns or knives, history has revealed a chilling array of unusual murder weapons. In today's video, we're exploring true-life crimes where the killer's resourcefulness and brutality extended far beyond the obvious. These killers turned everyday objects into deadly instruments. These cases live in infamy due to their brutality, the mystery surrounding them, or the sheer randomness of the crimes. Let's take a look at the strangest weapons used to commit murders. A banjo. In 1991, Edward Benson of West Milton, Ohio, bludgeoned his wife Katie to death with a banjo. The assault was so violent that when the banjo broke, Benson grabbed a second and continued to assault his wife. Katie died en route to Stutter Memorial Hospital in Troy. A pen. On May 3, 2007, 21-year-old Jason Webster killed 26-year-old Rebecca Love with a pen. After a night of drinking in a club, Webster went to see Love with the intention of sleeping with her. Love refused to have sex with Webster, and he became enraged. He stabbed her 93 times with a pen. Webster tried to incriminate another man for the murder, but the forensic evidence against him was overwhelming. After initially denying his involvement, Webster changed his plea and confessed to the murder. A chainsaw. On April 26, 2010, Jose Fernando Corona decapitated his wife, Maria Corona, with a chainsaw. He then dragged her body into the street. When police arrived at the scene, they found the chainsaw still running, covered in blood. Jose Fernando Corona evaded the police and has never been caught. A toilet tank lid. In May 2006, Marvin Joseph Hill, a 49-year-old pizza delivery man, used a stun gun to disable 29-year-old Christina Jeanette Eubanks. Hill raped Christina. He then killed her by repeatedly bashing her head with the lid of her toilet tank. In 2008, Hill was found guilty of murder and sentenced to a mandatory 51 years in prison. A crucifix. On Christmas Eve 2008, Karen Walsh visited her 81-year-old neighbor, Maire Rankin. During the visit, Walsh was drinking vodka while arguing on the phone with her husband. Mrs. Rankin told Walsh to stop drinking and go home to her 2-year-old son. The chastisement infuriated Walsh, who grabbed the first thing she could find, a crucifix, and beat the defenseless 81-year-old woman to death. After killing the elderly woman, Walsh used an object, possibly the crucifix, to sexually violate the elderly woman, in order to throw off the police and make the murder look like a home invasion. Karen Walsh's DNA was found on Maire Rankin's chin and on the crucifix. She was found guilty of murder and sentenced to life in prison. Prosthetic leg. In January 2010, Deborah Hewitt, a homeless Louisiana woman, took off her own prosthetic leg and used it to bash 47-year-old Dwayne Ball in the head. She also choked and stabbed him. Ball's decomposing body was discovered in a field 6 weeks later. In 2011, Deborah Hewitt was found guilty of second-degree murder. It was her third murder charge. She was sentenced to life in prison. A stiletto. In 2013, Ana Trujillo and her boyfriend, Stefan Andersson, got into an argument. The argument turned violent, and Andersson was injured, falling on his back. Ana then sat on Andersson, preventing him from getting up. She then killed him by stabbing him at least 25 times in the face, head and neck with a 5.5-inch stiletto heel. The jury rejected her claims of self-defense. She was found guilty of murder and sentenced to life in prison. These cases show that murder is not caused by a particular weapon, but by a narcissistic social culture that views human life as expendable. History proves that the most dangerous weapon in the world is the evil in the human mind.